Welcome back to Dinar Trend Tracker channel. Someone absolutely incredible has taken over people's social media feeds in the last day, as any internet user worth their salt can tell you. Groups on Telegram are going crazy, X threads are becoming popular, reaction videos on YouTube are going down every hour, and Reddit is overwhelmed with comments. And why is that? There is a brief, unexplained video that some say shows Trump implying that the Iraqi dinar could soon be worth nearly as much as the dollar, roughly 96 cents. An unprecedented surge of enthusiasm has swept through the dinar community, all because of that one concept. Though, a number of people have taken to interpreting it as a secret message, hint, indication, or confirmation. The internet went boom regardless of how verifiable any of this is. And now, we're going to explain everything in detail so you know what went down and why everyone is reacting the way they are, and the implications for the Iraqi dinar's trajectory in the year 2025. The further we delve, the more startling the narrative gets, so stick around until the very end. You will be disappointed if you miss even a single moment of it. The whole controversy started when a short low-quality video of Trump speaking at what seems like a private event or fundraiser began making the rounds on the internet. Sorry, the sound isn't great. The perspective is not obvious. Basic elements for internet mayhem, and the clip cuts out suddenly. However, the remark that caused a stir online is believed to have something to do with Iraqi dinar rising to prominence as a regional currency. Instantly, news outlets started using Trump's words as a hint toward a dollar-pegged exchange rate. The now famous 96 cents began to acquire popularity at that point. Accounts started reposting it, captioning it, speculating, and promoting theories within minutes. A confirmed revaluation was quickly brought up by thousands of people. For some, this was the long-awaited moment when everything finally made sense, something they'd been anticipating for more than 10 years. After the video went viral, even those uninvolved with the dinar started to wonder what was going on and why the topic of an Iraqi currency revalue had come up so rapidly. The response on the internet has been absolutely enormous. It seemed as if the RV had gone live at that same moment, as members of several Telegram channels were posting emoticons of joy. X users purportedly posted charts, screenshots, and hidden bank rates that would flash and then vanish. As part of their regular banking activities, several even reported seeing the 0.96 rate displayed on digital boards. Numerous YouTubers responded to the video, spread the story, or offered their interpretations of what Trump may have meant. People were urged to be ready for a rate adjustment in urgent films that were prepared by some. Some people warned against jumping to conclusions, saying that the video may have been skewed from any position. Unlike any other dinar tale in the previous 5 years, this rumor spread like wildfire. Dinar holders who had endured years of anticipation, uncertainty, analysis, and hopefulness now felt a surge of enthusiasm. It had more to do with the video than that. It was about the hope that Iraq's economic progress would finally garner international notice. But let's take a step back and examine this with an objective, news-oriented eye. First of all, a 96-cent dinar rate has not been confirmed by any official tape, transcript, or statement from Trump. Having that understanding, in the opening tape, he seems to be praising Iraq's oil, natural resources, and current reform, which will allow the country to become a major player in the global economy. I can totally get behind that. A prediction of a currency's strength in the future is different from an assurance of a particular exchange rate or time frame. People on the internet enjoyed completing the gaps, and that is exactly what they did here. Based on the most dramatic and realistic estimate, Trump has already brought up Iraq's oil wealth, resources, and lost chances. Many viewers found the rumor even more plausible because of that circumstances. Things start to get intriguing at this point. The video may not prove a rate, but it fits with actual developments taking place in Iraq at the moment. Recent years have seen significant progress in Iraq's efforts to modernize its banking system, wean itself off of the dollar, clean up its currency markets, and get ready for global financial integration. Public remarks regarding the need to increase the domestic purchasing power of the dinars have been made by their central bank. They have increased national reserves to all-time highs, strengthened regulations on monetary transfers, and confirmed all dollar transactions. Additionally, New systems are being advanced with the aim of further connecting Iraq to global networks in 2025. This is a genuine move. There is documentation about them. Furthermore, they are significant, so it's not so out of the question when Trump or anyone else talks highly of Iraq's economic prospects. This isn't just an exaggeration. It seems to be the culminating point of a long-term trend. The origin of the 96-cent figure must also be discussed. Models based on Iraq's oil reserves, economic output, GDP growth potential, and predicted reconstruction value have been developed by analysts and speculators for years. Based on these figures, it has been suggested that if Iraq were to completely reorganize its currency, rein in inflation, update its infrastructure, and lessen the distortion of its money supply, the dinar's true value could range from 50 cents to $1. The 0.96 figure became famous, not as an official rate, but as an estimate of Iraq's potential economic output. From that point on, the significance of the figure grew over time. It began to represent something of a community benchmark or objective. People immediately linked the new popular video with the long-held belief that 0.96 was possible given the correct circumstances when it appeared online. On the other hand, the emotional side of things is this. A large number of dinar holders made investments over 10 years ago. They observed Iraqi regimes that were prone to instability, problems with manipulating the currency, sanctions, protests, conflicts, and economic disasters. There were annual assurances of a revaluation, but nothing materialized during that time. This led to increased skepticism, exhaustion, and hopelessness among the community members. That optimism blossomed into a calm, steady faith that Iraq's economy will recover. Many people were looking for validation in this rumor, not merely financial gain. It seemed as if a prominent figure had at last given credence to their long-held beliefs. This story went viral so fast in large part because of that emotional wave. An online storm of intense emotions can be unleashed when a viral political clip is mixed with elements of hope, frustration, history, and the internet at large. Let's get this in the real world again. Iraq is going through a real transition. Digital payment networks are being built, new trade links are being established, infrastructure is being modernized, and regional financial alliances are being signed. Banks on a local level are moving their operations online. Plus, the number of transactions conducted online is growing monthly. Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Turkey, and the United Arab Emirates are among the regional leaders with whom Iraq is collaborating closely to restore commercial stability. Income from oil is high, while non-oil industries are expanding at a slower pace. When you add in the ongoing fight to cut off illicit dollar conduits and fortify currency stability, you can begin to imagine what the future may hold. An augmented dinar is not out of the question. Creating money that is worth more is not an ideal, but an actual activity. A measured, purposeful shift that calls for unity, consistency, and competent leadership. The topic of global context will now be discussed. There has been a financial upheaval throughout the world. More and more nations are moving their trade away from the currency. Fresh coalitions are taking shape. Cryptocurrencies are on the rise. Some regional economies are making strides toward decentralization and creating their own financial systems. Iraq finds itself smack dab in the center of this chain. They are strengthening their connections with Russia and the neighboring Arab governments, increasing trade with China, and settling oil contracts locally. There is a worldwide trend toward currency diversification and strength, which is consistent with Trump's remarks on Iraq's future. It makes perfect sense, because of how drastically different the world is now compared to even just a decade ago. People didn't discount the rumor. What then should dinar holders be concerned about at the moment? Remain rooted for official pronouncements, announcements from central banks, and international confirmations always accompany major financial changes, despite the allure of rumors. Particularly when the community is riled up. Official outlets will be the first to announce any significant adjustments made by Iraq. Second, know that there are typically stages to a currency transition: stabilization, restructuring, expanding internal power, and finally, international integration. These stages are obviously being traversed by Iraq. Finally, do not respond to statements that have not been verified, unsolicited offers, or so-called insider rates. In most cases, those are just misunderstandings or scams. Before all else, keep the broader view in mind. It wasn't hearsay that gave Iraqis hope for the future, actual opportunities did. What follows then? Analysts have a number of topics on their radar for the next few months. News from the Iraqi central bank on the future of the currency, reports of smaller or newer banknotes, more people using online banking, and changes in the dinar's profile on international financial systems. These events, if they start happening at the same time, would be a huge clue that Iraq is getting ready for a big change, big or little. Perhaps the Trump video that went viral sparked a frenzy. The subsequent official steps, however, are where the true drama lies. A stronger currency is becoming more than merely plausible, if Iraq keeps moving forward with reforms. Let us go back to the question about the virality. Was Trump's confirmation of a 96-cent dinar revaluation genuine?
No, that's not correct, at least not formally.
What the rumor actually says, though, is crucial. That Iraq is being watched so intently is evident. It reveals how open people are to the idea of a global economic or political change. It also demonstrates the rising optimism about Iraq's potential for a long-term recovery. Such stories would have received almost no media coverage even a decade ago. For days, they now rule the social media sphere. Just that alone demonstrates how drastically the story has evolved. The image of Iraq as a nation recovering from war is becoming skewed. It has the ability to shock the globe economically, and is viewed as a rising power. Oil production, global alliances, financial modernization, currency reforms, and economic diversification are all interconnected factors that contribute to the belief that a dramatic shift is imminent. It makes little difference if the ultimate result is 0.96, 0.51, or some other number. The trend is obvious. The Iraqi economy is booming. The video that went viral may not prove anything, but it certainly reflects the feelings of people all over the world. Many anticipate a strengthening of the Iraqi dinar. They think the nation is on the upswing. And when backed by tangible economic growth, that conviction carries weight. To round out this extensive examination of the latest news, let's take a look at what this moment stands for. There wasn't a single video that caused the internet to explode. People sensed momentum, actual, observable momentum that has been building for years, and it detonated. You wouldn't recognize this Iraq from 2015, 2020, or even 2010. Everything has changed. The financial environment, the era, and the course of action. There is more to the 96 cents rumor than just a figure. Everyone is waiting for something big to happen in Iraq, and this is a symbol of that. So, what are your thoughts on the possibility that Iraq could achieve a higher value? To what extent do you think the nation's finances are getting ready for a big change? The Trump video that went viral and started this whole conversation, what are your thoughts on? Please share your opinions in the space provided. Please share your thoughts with me. Also, subscribe, enable notifications, and hit the like button for more real-time dinar news, analysis, and updates. Keep yourself educated and focused. Just hold on to your optimism, for there is still a long way to go, and many people think the best parts are yet to come. Mute.